Stainless steel, the way to the finish. Stainless steel is undoubtedly an amazing material. It is very much an essential part of everyday life. It is utilized in everything from pens to penknives, wristwatches to rockets. Who would expect a set of cutlery to be made of anything else? Yet the material itself has only been known for around 75 years. It was in 1913 that one Harry Brearley discovered stainless steel whilst working as head of the Brown Firth Research Laboratories in Sheffield. The rapid rise in stainless steel utilization and popularity is thanks to its unique properties, which combine to provide levels of durability and versatility which no other metal can match. Much of the popularity of stainless steels stems from the fact that they possess aesthetic qualities which, combined with excellent corrosion resistance, ensure a long, cost-effective service life. Stainless steel is defined as a steel containing a minimum of 11% chromium, but in practice, the majority of stainless steels contain around 18%. Because stainless steels contain chromium, they produce a chromium-rich oxide layer on their surface, a thin, non-porous film which is invisible to the naked eye and allows the natural brightness of the metal to be seen. If scratched, this film has the ability to repair itself almost instantaneously, thus maintaining the protection. It is here in the British Steel Stainless Cold Rolling and Finishing Department that these finishes actually start, and the material which the public recognizes as stainless steel is produced. In Sheffield, where the story really began 75 years ago. The sheet and coil production facilities are housed in 3 buildings and produce over 150,000 tons of finished stainless steel annually. The finishing story really starts here in the stockyard. Hot rolled coil, or hot band as it is known, is the feedstock for the cold rolling and finishing department. It arrives by rail from the hot strip mill in standard coil widths of up to 1.5 meters and up to 6 millimeters in thickness. At this stage, each individual coil can weigh as much as 30 tons. This hot band is prepared for further processing on the coil build-up line. In order to maximize yield during the cold rolling process, 10-meter-long tails or leaders are welded onto both ends of each coil, and small austenitic coils can be welded together to form large coils, which are more economical to process. All coils which are destined for thin-gauge material, less than 1 millimeter thick, have their edges trimmed, as do any coils which have damaged or cracked edges from the hot strip mill. Ferritic grades are then annealed in batch furnaces.
All hot rolled austenitic coil is softened and cleaned here on number 1 softening and descaling line, whilst ferritic coils are descaled only.
The number 1 softening and descaling line was uprated in the late 1970s. This line runs round the clock, 7 days a week, and produces 32 tons per hour. The line starts with 2 uncoilers. Whilst 1 coil is being processed, the second is being prepared. At the changeover, the lead of the new coil is welded to the tail of the previous coil, and the process continues without disruption, thanks to an accumulator or looping tower, which gathers material when the coil is being processed and pays it out again whilst a new coil is being welded into place. The strip passes through 2 natural gas-fired furnaces and a cooling section before being shot blasted to loosen and remove the scale. The coil is then pickled in a mixture of hydrofluoric and nitric acid before being washed and dried. A further accumulator allows the individual coils to be sheared and recoiled after a final inspection. The coil is now clean and ready for rolling to the required gauge and finish in the cold rolling mills.
Numbers 4 and 5 Sensible mills were commissioned in 1977 and are designed for cold rolling of 28-ton coils in widths up to 1600 millimeters.
This type of mill can achieve 80% reductions on input gauges as thick as 6 millimeters, producing output gauges as thin as 0.4 millimeters at speeds up to 500 meters per minute in several passes. Rolling a typical 1250 millimeter wide strip, these mills can produce 15 tons of finished coil per hour. The mill assembly consists essentially of a mill housing with a winder at each side, the mill stand being powered by three 2,000 kilowatt motors connected in series to give a total power output of 6,000 kilowatts. The housing, which weighs approximately 110 tons, is fitted with upper and lower 10-roll cluster arrangements, the normal work roll diameter being 85 millimeters. The use of such small diameter work rollers gives a high arc of contact, which enables greater reductions to be made on each pass. Stressometers, pressure-sensitive rolls, fitted to the ingoing and outgoing sides of the mill give an indication of the strip shape, and X-ray gauges measure strip thickness. Freshly ground rolls are used for the final pass of each coil, and the stripped surfaces are interleaved with paper to further protect the finish.
Any coil with surface defects can be easily recovered on this 6-head grinding machine, and the surface cleaned and prepared before it goes on to further process.
After rolling to final gauge, about 80% of the material is softened and descaled down this 3-level computer process line.
It is comprised of 2 uncoilers and an automatic welder for joining the coils. An accumulator being utilized once again to ensure that a changeover causes no pause in production. 2 natural gas-fired furnaces and a cooling section complete the ground level. The first level is merely a strip reversal section, whilst the second level consists of a descaling section with electrolytic and mixed acid baths, and a final water wash and dry process. A further accumulator, inspection point, shear and coiler complete the number 5 softening and descaling line. It can run at speeds of up to 60 meters per minute, and at any one time is processing around a mile of stainless steel strip.
20% of the material produced is destined for bright anneal finish and is softened here on the bright annealing line.
After being degreased and dried, removing all the rolling oil, the strip is heat treated in a vertical electrically heated furnace. This furnace has an inert atmosphere of nitrogen, carefully controlled to inhibit the presence of oxygen, which would cause oxidation of the strip surface during the annealing process. After cooling, the strip once more passes through a further accumulator, is inspected, sheared and recoiled.
The final process is a line pass on the pinch pass mill. This mill, installed in 1975, is a 2-eye reversing mill and can roll up to speeds of 300 meters a minute.
Using a maximum load of 1,000 tons, this mill improves the shiny finish for which stainless steel has become famous. Both mill rolls are ground to a high finish and are continuously cleaned by a wiping and polishing device whilst the rolling is in progress. After final rolling, the coils are put into stock awaiting warehouse operations. Some gauges are further processed on the tension leveling line.
Material is slit to size and recoiled onto mandrels of varying sizes. This enables coils to be produced with both sizes to suit customers' requirements.
The Bronx is a dual-purpose machine which can slit and recoil material or trim and cut sheets up to 7 meters in length at a speed of 60 meters per minute.
Thorough inspection of both surfaces is again made at this stage to ensure that the highest quality levels are maintained. The sheet classification system is fully computer controlled, and prime sheets are counted and directed into predetermined boxes according to batch instructions. As you can imagine, stainless steel at this stage of production is truly a high-value product. It is therefore imperative that every care is taken in packaging and handling to ensure that the aesthetic qualities of the material are preserved and the customer receives his deliveries in tip-top condition.
So that's how we put the finish on stainless steel, one of the 20th century's most successful and innovative materials. Sounds simple, but in practice, it's an extremely complex process. We hope you now have a better appreciation of what's involved in producing over 4,000 tons a week of stainless steel strip. In stainless steel, we have a material which has already built for itself an outstanding reputation for strength and durability. In the cold rolling and finishing department, it is very much our responsibility to ensure these qualities are achieved, a responsibility we do not take lightly.
behalf of the British Steel Board, British Steel Stainless, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you here today to the opening of our new trade centre. It's a particular pleasure, sir, that you have agreed to perform this opening ceremony, as this is your second visit to stainless steel. British Steel Stainless was formed in 1972 when it became part of the Steel Corporation, and at that time we immediately invested £130 million in a major development to put this company in the first-ranked league of world steel makers. You graciously, sir, came here in 1978 to open up that first extension. Today represents a further step, another major investment, and we are pleased that you have come once again to perform the opening ceremony. As you have seen during your short and very welcome visit, this trade centre is designed to serve the customer. The customer these days needs speedy delivery, a quality product, information on the progress of his order, and we believe the trade centre will perform all those functions. Sir, could I formally ask you to open the trade centre, to unveil the commemorative plaque, and to send on its way the first stainless steel coil to its customer after the opening ceremony. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'm delighted to be back again and to have this opportunity to do some more opening. I think I must have the record for opening things in this country. I've opened an awful lot of things. I'm glad that I'm not invited to close them down. I'd just like to congratulate the contractors and the designers of this immense undertaking, but also British Steel Stainless, on keeping well ahead of the game. I think that the fact that it's doing so well, in spite of the not very encouraging economic situation, shows that the people who've been managing British Stainless have been looking well ahead and making sure that Sheffield stays right up at the top of the league in the steel business. This is very good news, and I'm sure all your ancestors are feeling very proud of you as they lie comfortably in their graves. And I'm sure that your successors will be even more delighted that you managed to keep the business of steel going so strongly here in Sheffield. Now, I don't know if the customer for this reel would like to step forward, please, and receive it.
Your Royal Highness, on behalf of British Steel Stainless and all our guests, I would like to officially thank you for opening our trade centre. I think we all appreciate how important and precious your time is, and we're very grateful for your return here today to carry out this duty. You, sir, have already had a chance to see the workings of our trade centre. Our guests who are assembled here will have a chance later. Now, I would like to invite you, sir, and our guests to join us in the marquee for lunch. Thank you.
Stainless steel has a bright future as a high-technology material with a constantly expanding range of innovative applications. Harvester Polarit's Shepcote Lane facility is the largest stainless steel manufacturing complex in Britain and one of the largest in Europe. It continues to advance through ongoing investment, the commitment of the workforce and product innovation, and it also has a proud heritage. Sheffield is the birthplace of stainless steel. The first commercial cast was melted in August 1913 by local metallurgist Harry Brearley, and today the city continues to produce this important product. Harvester Polarit was created in 2001 by the merger of Harvester Sheffield and Outokumpu Steel, the major Finnish metals group. As one of the largest stainless steel producers in the world, Harvester Polarit operates highly complementary production complexes in Sweden, Finland, the UK and North America. As well as Shepcote Lane, the company operates 3 other facilities in the Sheffield area. Harvester Polarit offers the widest range of steel grades and product forms of any stainless supplier. The first stage in the stainless steel manufacturing process involves the melting and casting of a combination of raw materials. The stainless melting and continuous casting plant, known as SMAC, is capable of producing 600,000 tons of steel annually and is one of the largest and most efficient stainless melting facilities in the world. Production is based on recycling high-grade stainless steel scrap, which is mixed with ferroalloys. First, the scrap is melted in the electric arc furnace. It takes approximately 90 minutes to melt 130 tons at a temperature in excess of 1650 degrees centigrade. The molten metal is then transferred to the argon-oxygen decarburization vessel, known as the AOD, where the level of carbon is reduced. Further refining takes place in the ladle arc furnace, where small quantities of ferroalloys are added to achieve very tight analytical tolerances. Finally, the liquid steel is transferred to the continuous caster. As the steel solidifies, it's monitored by computer to the point where it's cut into slabs. These are up to 15 meters in length and 300 millimeters thick. Some slab is sold as semi-finished product to other producers. However, most of SMAC's output is processed further within the group. The most recent developments at SMAC have been the installation of a new billet caster and the refurbishment of the existing slab caster as part of a £15 million investment programme. This considerably increases the flexibility of the melting shop and enhances the product range by providing slabs, blooms and billets which can be processed within the company or sold externally. To produce cold-rolled coil at Sheffield, slab from SMAC is transported to Sweden to be hot-rolled into strip, known as hot band, on the technically advanced Steckel mill. This has the capacity to process 28-ton coils in widths of up to 2,000 millimeters. When the coil returns to Shepcote Lane, it's softened and descaled to produce a clean surface. It then passes through one of 3 Zenzimir mills. These operate at speeds of up to 500 meters per minute, but provide very accurate shape and gauge control. Harvester Polarit's specialist patterned finishes for architects, collectively called high-clad, are created using special rolls at this stage. After rolling, the material is again softened and descaled, producing a matte finish. or bright annealed, which is a highly reflective finish. Final adjustments to the flatness of the material can be made in the tension leveler, ensuring a completely uniform product. The requirement for flexible and reliable delivery schedules is met by the Trade Centre, the largest single facility of its type in Europe. It has the capacity to process around 300,000 tonnes of cold-rolled material every year. Linked to an advanced production planning system, the finishing operations are synchronised with the wide strip mill, creating a highly efficient production flow. The Trade Centre has an extensive range of finishing facilities and is highly automated as the result of ongoing investment. This covers the way in which materials are transported and uses technology to replace difficult and time-consuming manual operations such as assembling cutting heads. One of the major advantages of the automatic guided vehicles is that they can move heavy coils with a much greater degree of safety. They also allow for considerable flexibility. On the individual lines, wide coil can be trimmed to final width or slit into narrower coils. It can also be sheared into different sized sheets or cut into circles as required by the customer. Stainless steel can have many different finishes. It can be shiny, bright annealed or patterned, as with high-clad products. Traditional belt polishing can produce a range of finishes which vary in both appearance and smoothness. Harvester Polarit have also developed High Clean Super Brush, which has a smoother, more hygienic finish than belt polished products. It's ideal in a professional catering environment, as well as for domestic kitchen appliances. Another market is in architectural applications, where it complements the high-clad range of aesthetically pleasing and durable products. Throughout the entire system of the Trade Centre, the aim is to create a processing capability which is both rapid and flexible. The introduction of side-loading automatic guided vehicles enables coils and their edges to be carefully protected. Immediate packaging also preserves the quality of the finish. After they're packed, materials are transferred to the automatic storage and retrieval system. The system has a massive capability, with coil and sheet packs being held in any one of 15,000 storage slots. This enables up to 1,300 tonnes of material to move in and out of the system every day. Throughout the entire system at the Trade Centre, the aim is to create a cleaner product flow and ensure faster packaging. In the UK and overseas markets, Harvester Polarit has other major service centres that work closely with the Sheffield business. These extend the range of products and services offered to customers. Stainless steel is a material of the future. It's vital in high-technology industries, used in numerous products and applications around the world, as well as being a familiar part of our daily lives. So it's hardly surprising that demand is continuing to grow for the steels produced at Shepcote Lane. With the emphasis on thinner gauges and an even wider selection of finishes, stainless steel finds numerous uses. In the most prestigious architectural applications, in this country and throughout the world. in hostile environments, from the North Sea to the nuclear industry. In the columns for road lighting schemes, as well as street furniture. In the food and brewing industries, where hygiene is essential. And in catering, whether you're eating out or preparing food in your own kitchen. Stainless steel offers enormous versatility and durability, from the purely utilitarian to the most inspiring artistic concepts, from high-speed transportation to high-rise architecture. Stainless steel communicates quality in so many different ways. It begins in the quality of our materials and processes, is reflected in the commitment and understanding of our workforce, and is pursued in our vision of making Arvestor Polarit the best in stainless, now and in the future.